Hi there, I'm Steph the Video Guy, and I'm here to talk about track motion. Track motion is within Sony Vegas on the track level, so I'm going to insert a video track. Now here's a regular video track, and I don't know what I've got for footage. I am going to see what I've got here. Oh yeah, okay, so here's a little chunk of footage. It's got some audio, and basically it is, I'll drop my preview in here. It's just a little chunk of footage. It's time-lapse of downtown of the city I live in. All right, and so I'm going to let's get rid of the audio bus. Hopefully you can see this okay. Now what I'll do is I'm going to open up track motion for this track. Now the way that track motion works is it works for a specific track. So if I had a secondary video track and it was sitting nesting on down below here, the only way that this track motion would affect this track is if I made this a composting child. So basically allows these controls, the compositing rules to apply to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just delete that, and I'm going to open this up. Now here we can see track motion, and I'm going to just layer in right there. Now hopefully that's big enough real estate for us to see. Okay, now this is set for source alpha, so that means that it's got 2 dimensions. Now if you take a look at the preview while I move this box around, you'll see that I'm basically, this blue box that I'm playing with right now basically is my footage on that layer. Now if I had another chunk of footage on there, let's say I'm going to grab a solid color. Let's just grab a solid red. Now you'll notice, okay, that's good. The solid red is there. Now you'll notice that as we play through, it does the fade normally, but this whole track motion will affect the whole track. Now it's keyframeable for position. You can see the position is right here. There's a 2D shadow and a 2D glow available as well for this track. So basically, if I went like this, all right, so our settings are set up to, I believe this is keep aspect ratio and then size about center. So if I pull the corner, it makes it larger or smaller. I am actually, so that we know what we're looking at, I'm going to put a white background in here, a media generator of a white background. I drop it onto a new layer, it creates a new layer. All right, so join our preview again, and moving around that blue box, we can see what's going on there. Now I can put a 2D shadow, and now you see what the 2D shadow is actually doing. 2D glow, similar, but it's just all the way around. So the options for our shadow is right here. The options for our glow are right there. I don't actually want it to be on right now, so I am going to lay that down. That's, just remember, that's how you can do it. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. And oh, we're still in 2D shadow. Now let's look at the position, which is, oh yeah, it's hiding. There we go. All right, so I can move this around, and it's keyframing, so I don't really want that. Let's go down to the beginning. As you know, everything operates the same way in terms of keyframes in Vegas, which is really handy. But here we are, it's right here. And so we could keyframe it around and animate it. So we don't really need to do that. I mean, let's see, restore box. And so if we play through, here's what we see. So it's moving. We see that it's moving to the next keyframe. Okay, and then once it gets to that keyframe, oh yes, and it's moving to the next keyframe. And if we stop and we hit this, this will take us directly to where we are. And if I just slowly move through, you can see the cursor up in the track motion is reflected with the cursor on your track to give you a better idea of exactly where things are, because this is absolute time on your track. So you just got to remember that. And any changes we make to track motion are reflected right here. You can see that little dot. That's one of these. See? Now there's nothing on the track there, but I just wanted to show you that. Okay, so let's just go like this. Now, the common thing that people ask in Vegas is, how do I get, I'm going to delete all that stuff. All right, so, and turn that off, and here we go. How do I get two tracks side by side in Vegas? Now, what I want to do is I want to have this piece of footage on this side, and on the other side, I want another piece of footage. Now I'm going to utilize this one just because it's the one I've got. So I'm going to go like that. And we've got a solid color, and I can adjust this track motion. All right, so because, yes, because it's an object, it wants to fill the whole space. So let's put some actual footage in there. Hey, there's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I'm just going to right click this, drop it in, video only, across time. All right, so it's taken up the whole frame. Now let's go in, and there we go. Okay, so, and I'm going to set this. We can say, what's our position? We can tell it what height it is. Let's go 900. Okay. See, all of your adjustments are available right there. So let's go 900 and move this over. And let's see what our placement is. Y minus 20. Okay. And so let's just remember that. Y minus 20 and width of 900. So let's do the same thing for this one. So the width of 900 and is minus 20, and so they're on the same path. So now what I'm doing is, here, let's adjust this, and this behaves like a slider if I wanted it to. And you notice that this will go wherever, really wherever I want it to. And so, and it, like I said, you can keyframe this, but you know, really, what's the point? All right, now what I've decided to do is I'm going to, yeah, I just opened this up in a different monitor. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go like this. Now we've got turn lock aspect ratio off, and let's say I just want this side. What I'm going to do is I'll go like that, and I'm going to, there we go. And let's go width. Our project is 1280, so that would be 640. Yep, so it's exactly half. All right, so I'm going to do that. All right, and I'll just move this out of the way for now. Now I'm going to turn this on. This is soloing, so I'm going to turn that on. And I'm going to say, okay, so let's go y of 0, which should get us exactly where we need. All right. I'm going to double check that I'm using the, yes, I was operating the other one. All right, so a y of 0 should put us right in the middle. And so, and then let's go our X, and our X, because our project is already set to 1280, it should be 640, not 64,000, 640, and it's a far over. My brain wasn't working. Oh, okay, so there we go. Because we squished down the height, that positioning doesn't make any sense. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this over, make sure this is set to 0, and then I'm going to go like this, and what that does is I'm looking at this guy as well, and I want to use the other side of this, so I'm going to go 640, and then I'll select it, then shift right pan, and that selects this side of it, and close that off, shy that, there we go. Now these are the same height. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that this selected, and so there we go. They should be at the same height. Now that they're both at 0. Yeah, they're both at 0. So then let's, oh yeah, okay. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to slide that over. Now what we see as we play through this is we've got 2 time lapses that are sitting in space, and we can adjust the pan crop. I'm going to lay the pan crop right here for now, and we can move this around. Just remember, if we go off the boundary, we're going into black territory. So the best way, and you can actually lock this ratio in. I'm just Control Z in, there we go, and so we can lock this ratio in, which is perfect, because we want it to be that way, and say I wanted it right in the middle there, then that'll be that. Now of course we don't have to lock that in, and see the changes on the preview as I widen this. And all of this is keyframeable. I'm just gonna keep saying that just because it's important. Now our width is 419, let's go 420. Alright, now if we go to the pan crop on this guy, and we set this to 420, now we've got 2 pillars. We've got 2 pillars of video. And it's dark down here, so you can't actually see the bottom. I'm gonna lock that aspect ratio, and then we'll pop up. Now you can see the corners, the bottom corners. Now that area right there is more interesting. So let's just see how that looks. Oh yeah, it's really slow. Really slow for the time lapse. There we go. See? Now we can, if we had a third layer, which I can just add in right down here. Now we can put whatever we want back there. And remember, there's options for 2D shadow. Okay, because we're so far away from where the shadow is, it's doing some pretty bizarre things. Alright, so we would have to manually set where this guy is. So, we want it to be right underneath, and, put it down. So, there we go. So, there our drop shadow is reflected. And so, as you animate this, the drop shadow will follow. Yeah. Now, with the red in behind, it looks kind of gimpy, So let's pop in. There's got to be, oh yeah, okay, different projects that I've been working on over the time. Let's see, some more footage. Let's just see what we've got. Interview pieces. Yeah, a lot of interview pieces. I think here's some footage. Oh yeah, that's a lot of photos. Some B-roll. There we go. I'm just going to drop that on. And now we've got that in the background. So for instance, perhaps we want this piece right here to reflect some part of a safety issue, and this part to be a corresponding safety issue, and the background is the place where the safety issue is. You can have them all running at the same time, and as you can see, my preview is starting to slow down a little bit, but it should show okay. Oh yeah, B-roll, the nature of B-roll. So this was a kiln down south. But yeah, so there you go. That's the basics of using track motion. It's a very powerful tool, and once you get the hang of it, it's brilliant. Thanks a lot, and please subscribe and come back again. Thank you.